you're going to repeat that again with larger arcs. And you might find that it helps you to draw kind of like first break, the second break on an arc, or even like it's the center point. That's how it's going to kind of end. So center, come across, ends there, starts curving down, starts curving down. And you can fine tune these exercises so they're helping you with what you need help on. These are kind of general draftsmanship, how you're going to improve your ability to freehand sketch quickly and accurately get what you see. It's training your eye and your arm, and your muscle memory to all work as one. The next page is going to be waves. And these are going to feel really weird the first few times you do this. You start with your normal line, and then you're going to do some wavy shapes. Probably going to ghost this a few times. And these ones go a little slower, and you're going to find that as you kind of build up, these are a lot harder to hit than like the straight lines were, just because you don't have as much specific practice on these. So each one of these you're going to do the 8-time overlap, and each wave is going to have kind of a different break on it. And this is going to be to practice repetitively drawing these shapes, hitting them over and over. Like this one I'm having a really hard time with on the kind of loop back. So, and it's all about getting a variety of shapes. I mean, maybe you have this one where it kind of goes like that, like something that's really understated on it. And you'll want to do about half of your page on this with the 8x overlaps ones, and then maybe after that do some parallel ones. You see that as the wave goes on, it gets harder and harder. Your goal on these is just each time you go and do this worksheet and do this kind of warm-up exercise, you want to practice different shapes on your waves and just get them to hit closer each time. And then for our last one, we're kind of breaking on the natural this way that my arm goes. So maybe I'll try one that's kind of more counterintuitive, and this will be our parallel one. We'll go across, and just want to get these all kind of lining up as if you drew each one. And so that's waves. Not used to Sketchbook's UI very much because it's not my main workflow program. Alright, we can do the rest of these in 4 more pages. So let's go. You're going to go through a lot of scratch paper doing this stuff. So here's circles. I'm going to go several long lines across your paper. You need, actually pull this over here where it's a little more comfortable on my arm. And you want to get these lines pretty close to parallel. None of this is exact. You don't want to use a ruler for any of this. Try and do double the size of these ones, and then get this last line to be so like there and there should be the same as here and here, and then the midpoint for this whole thing be this line. So on this first one, I'm going to be doing circles edge to edge, and circles are something you really I need to ghost in a lot first, and kind of you want to practice drawing them clockwise and counterclockwise. An important thing on circles is after you go through these, you're going to try and true them up, so you can see that some of these circles I'm putting in are like barely rounded squares. So go back in and kind of slowly build them back up and get them to actually be more circular and round. I'm touching each edge, and have them, and this is kind of a eyesight help as much as muscle memory on these. This one's kind of like wonky on that way, so I want to this one's got like a really big point here. Need to shift that over. Eyes are melting out a little bit. And then the last one. So then on the second page, or in the second set of circles, we're going to be going, instead of edge to edge, we're going to be going center to edge. So let's say here is our first circle. Our next circle is going to go up there to there. And then center of that one over to here. Center to here. These are like practically ellipses. Take this one a little bit over so that we can get these a little rounder again. Not so egg-shaped and kind of crescent-y. We want to go kind of true round on these. This first set is edge, edge. This one is center, edge. And then we're just going to be doing bigger circles for these next rows. These ones are like double sized. And circles are really hard to draw on, in general, on tablet, especially when you don't really have kind of direct looking at, like, I can't look at what I'm drawing and draw it directly because there isn't a screen that I'm drawing on. My digitizer and my screen are separate things, so it's great for painting. Kind of sucks for drawing, but you get used to it. And then these last circles are really big, maybe about 4 inches on your sheet of paper, so they have room for like maybe 1 or 2 circles on here. It's probably a square, little lopsided. That's a really awkward angle for me to draw. You can probably go through there easier. So that's going to be the center of the circle. And so that needs to come in a little more. To be a little even. This is going up a bit high over there. And there's my chewed up circle. So there's circles. Next up is going to be targeted circles, which you can do just on the same one. So I could do a series of smaller circles right in the middle here. That's kind of what I want to be the center of all these circles. And just draw kind of concentric circles that are going to fit in this. And you don't draw circles end on a ton, but you do draw a ton of ellipses, which are circles in perspective. And that's the next thing that we're going to be practicing. And on here, this is ellipses. So that nice right angle. We need this to be on that quarter of a circle slice. We're going to try and do 4 columns of ellipses going back. So you want to break this into kind of 4 even segments. Easiest to kind of judge it out there, and then you go from the corner to your target, pull your line out, corner to your target, pull your line out. So that's reasonably even. Minor axis on each of these lines is going to be, geez, I can't, I'm having trouble getting these lines tight, but you want your minor axis to be kind of, you envision it, it's going to be going right through the center on these, and it might be easier for you to rotate your sheet. I know I can rotate Sketchbook. Where is the tool for that though? Don't want a ruler. Oh, whatever. We'll just, oh, V. That's just rotating. I have selected. I don't want to do that. So, on each of these, we're going to be drawing in ellipses, and the center point is going to be the minor axis on each of these lines. So, what that means is, if you don't remember how ellipses work, is the minor axis is the short point right through the middle. You don't want to draw it off like that. This side is way bigger than this side, and B, it's not going through at the right angle. So this is going to be a practice for getting your ellipses on the same minor axis, and just practicing your ellipses. Try and have them touch edge to edge, and just get smaller as they come in towards the center. This is probably going to be one of the harder bits of this exercise for you. You really want the center axis to be right in the middle of this. And you want to do fairly narrow ellipses on this. These don't actually have to be edge to edge too. You can go and overlap. And you want to have them get to the edge of your center line, or of each kind of channel, so that they're getting smaller in the right orders. And this is the one part that I would say maybe break out a ruler on. get your lines set up so